Good afternoon. We are here in Baguio City at the House of Prayer, ICM, with Sister Perla Tempongko Macapinlac, who is my Lola Esther's first cousin. And she's given us the rare opportunity of a very short interview on her family and on herself as well as her siblings. This is the branch of the Tempongco family from Tempongco de Macapinlac. So good afternoon, sister.
Hello. Hi.
And well, I'm very happy to be with you. And I'd like to interview you very briefly on your family history so that we have it on record. And could you please tell us a bit about your mother, Elisea or Chiang Tempongco, married to your father, Angel Macapinlac, please.
Okay. Well, my mother was a wonderful woman. She was a very gentle mother, and I don't remember her ever scolding us. And somehow, by some kind of miracle, we were not naman spoiled. We grew up naman well. One of us now became a sister, no? and she died. She died about how many years ago now? She died about more than 30 years ago now. She died of cancer. And she married my father. My father is from Pampanga, but we never settled in Pampanga. We settled in Iloilo because my father was the manager of the then Tidewater Associated Oil Company, an oil company, and that's where I grew up until I joined the congregation.
Elisea or Chiang Tempongco is the younger sister of my great-grandfather.
Younger sister, but not the youngest. Yes. The youngest was Jachong.
Yes.
Jachong.
I remember that she learned how to fence.
Yeah, she was a fencer.
And there was a picture of her.
With your great-grandfather.
Yes. And do you know, by chance, where she or her sisters went to school? I believe they went to La Concordia. That's what my mother told me, that Lola Katia, the then future wife of my great-grandfather, Peping or Felipe, studied in La Concordia, where she met her sisters-in-law to be, including perhaps Elisea.
Okay.
It was only Lola Chong who studied in St. Scholastica.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Where would your father have met your mother or made her acquaintance?
I guess in Manila.
You don't happen to know the circumstances?
No, I never asked them about their romantic life. I should have.
Yes.
Had I known you would interview me about that, I
Yes.
would have asked them some years ago.
Were there any snippets of information that she might have shared with you about her own parents, Lola Ines and her father Ambrosio?
My mother was a quiet person, very reticent.
Yes.
And when I think of it, she married late kasi, no? She married late in life. And so there was a big gap. I was the youngest, so there was a big gap.
Mm.
And it was the old-fashioned way of treating children, no?
Yes.
Nowadays, you have parents parang magkaibigan lang, and they share a lot, they tell stories. And my mother was not like that. My I just remember my father saying that when his father or something would visit a house, my father would put a little love note inside his
Hat.
yung kondo,
Yes.
the ribbon there, whatever you call it, and so when he reaches that house, they take the daughter would take the hat, and my message pala doon sa loob. And I cannot even remember if that was my mother. Maybe not.
A love note
Love
in
note
the hat,
in the hat.
which would be given to whoever.
Oh, pagdating niya sa to visit a house, a friend's house, the daughter of that friend would take his hat to put on the, the stand. Pero may love note dun sa loob. That was,
a very clever way of courting.
Yeah, but nowadays that isn't done anymore. Very sad.
I also noted that your branch of the family retained the custom of speaking Spanish.
Yes, because my father was half Spanish, his mother was Barmori. And so the Spanish tradition was quite strong in the family.
You were related to the poet and to Gia Balmori.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Patikuling.
Yes.
And Gia Balmori.
So how many children were you in the family? Could you kindly cite them from the eldest to the youngest?
We were originally six. My eldest brother, Reyes, he was killed during the liberation by the Japanese. Next one was Gloria, married to Marino Corpus. And then Ruben, married to Anita.
Anita, what was her last name, Anita?
Fortungo.
Yes.
And then Olga, married to Fernando de la Razabal. And then Iris, married to Felix Ledesma of Iloilo. And myself.
Married to God.
Yeah.
You must have quite a number of nephews and nieces, as well as grandnephews and nieces by now.
In my immediate family,
Yes.
No, we are a small family. If you recall in our reunions, we are the smallest group. My brother, eldest brother, he died single. My Gloria had no children. She adopted two, but they are not really of the family, My brother Ruben had three sons and one daughter. Next, Olga has four boys and one girl. Iris has four girls and one boy. And I have no children. No, I have hundreds. I have thousands of children.
Please tell us a little bit about your, vocation or career within the ICM.
Well, I joined the congregation where I studied, St. Teresa's, a year after I finished college, and in my early years as a nun, I taught, but I'm not a teacher. I'm not a classroom teacher. I'm a lousy teacher.
You were the teacher of my wife, Marie Luarca, in philosophy.
Yes, but in college, I hated teaching. and this, and after a while, I did my theology in Rome, and after my theology, I took charge of the formation of our young sisters here in the Philippines, and then I went to Jamaica. I had been wanting to go to the missions for a long time, but they kept me here. Finally, I was sent to Jamaica, and I was out of the country for 32 years. Although there were gaps in the 32 years, 6 years I was in the general administration of my congregation in Rome, and 6 years also I was asked to stay in the Philippines, borrowed me for 6 years for formation, and but I always went back to Jamaica, and I love Jamaica. Like I told you a while ago, Jamaica is violent. It's rough and beautiful, and I love Jamaica. I love the people. Jamaica runs in my blood, and then 10 years ago I had to come back now to the Philippines for good. Kasi in Jamaica, kasi I was very mobile. I was always on the move because I was working for the archdiocese, so I had to move a lot, and hindi na masyadong kaya. So I came back to the Philippines, and I'm now in the House of Prayer, which is where I give retreats, seminars. So instead of me going to people in Jamaica, the people come here.
I remember meeting you in Cebu once when I visited the city. I think you also taught at the St. Reyes College there. Yes. And I think you were very much appreciated in Jamaica because on the wall I just read a citation that they gave to you before you left, you know. And if you don't mind, perhaps I'd like to, read part of it here. So it says, "Dear Sister of the Narrow Tree, as you take your leave of us, we wish you wouldn't go. But we thank you for having been here, for having shared and loved here, for having exemplified Christ here. And today we make a promise to you in love that we will serve Christ with the passion that you do, and we will work for justice until He comes. For all that you have been and are to us, we love you. For all that you have done to us, utang na loob. God bless and walk good." So that's what they told you.
Walk good is goodbye in Jamaica. We never say goodbye.
Ah, okay.
We say walk good.
Yes, okay. Come closer here, and I'll be here behind you. So, anyway, now that you're in Baguio, aside from your retreats, I think that you also are engaged in some activism to preserve the heritage culture of Baguio.
And the environment.
Yes.
The environment. Yes, I join groups. I join rallies in the street at my age.
What can you say on the one hand about the Pope's encyclical Laudatio Si', the recent climate change meeting in Paris, and then your activism in the environment in Baguio City?
Laudato Si' is about the best thing that has ever happened in the church these past generations. If we follow Laudato Si', it can be the salvation of our planet Earth. And I made a commitment to really propagate the encyclical. It's the longest encyclical ever written by the Pope, by a Pope, and so I'm giving talks on Laudato Si', and the Pope is only one man but he has done a lot of good. And I really believe that it's not only the Pope as a man. I really believe that God is there, because one man cannot do what he has been able to do. For 20 years, the heads of nations have been meeting in summits to address climate change. Lahat palpak. Nothing, they could not enter into any deal. And this year, the Pope, God raised a man. And with his one voice, he was able to, and in a simple way, in a simple language, and with his big heart, he was able to talk and convince and move the hearts of leaders. And so after 20 years of palpak, the summit in Paris 2 weeks ago last week, came up with a deal, a climate deal that would be the beginning of the salvation of the planet. All the leaders who were there, how many of them?
96.
96.
Mm-hmm.
Even those who were up to the last minute reluctant to agree to the 1.5 centigrade degree limit, China, Brazil, India, South Africa, they joined. So it's like a miracle. Like a miracle, all the participating countries entered into that deal. But of course, there will still be a lot of practicalities that we have to work on. But tapos na.
Okay. Tapos na tayo. Okay. Anyway, very briefly before we go, from the global to the local, could you just make a comment about Baguio? I mean, because since I've been here, the first in 10 years, I've noticed that the city has changed a lot in character.
Yeah. Baguio has deteriorated very much in the environment. And some months ago, at the initiative of the Bishop Carlito Senson, he called for a summit of groups, of anybody who wanted to join. And the name of the summit was the Baguio We Want. And we have been meeting. And this Baguio We Want, we formed ourselves into interest groups and committing ourselves to do that part, that whatever it was, that whatever advocacy that was that we joined. We did something about it, whether it's for the environment, another one for the garbage, another one for the politics. And I'm also involved in that now, preparing and when the candidates are set to find out from them, compel them to declare what they're going to do about the environment in Baguio, about the garbage, about the planning, because it's the city planning, wala na. So that the Baguio We Want is one of the things that is a hopeful sign for the city of Baguio. And hard work.
Well, the message of Christianity is hope, aside from love. So
yeah,
I
hope.
guess.
So we end with hope.
Thank you very much, sister.
Okay.
Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Okay.
Sige po. Thank you.
And thank you for the lunch.
No, thank you too for the